Okay, we're going to talk about warping the multi-loom today. This is a 4-inch that's already finished. This is Knit Picks fingering weight yarn. I thought I'd use this lightweight yarn so maybe you could see a little better what was happening. This is the 4-inch multi that I started weaving on, but I think I'll use the 2-inch because it'll go a little faster. Okay, this is the 2-inch. The loom has this small pin down here to mark the starting corner. It should be toward you, or the bottom I call it, and on your left side if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, I'm sorry, but I guess you're on your own. I'm right-handed, so that's all I know about. You start with a slip knot, as you do on most of these looms. They go over the top 2 pins and the bottom 2 pins on the side there. Then you bring your yarn around the next 2 pins and into the slot. You go up, but it doesn't go in the slot this time. It goes past the one and around the next 2. So you go between the first and second and around the next 2. Between the first and second, around the next 2. Repeat that across. The instructions are the same whether they're for this little 2-inch or whether they're for any of the other sizes. You do it exactly the same way. Come down between the last 2 pins, the last pin and the corner pin. Okay, now you're going to come up and around that slot, through that slot, back over between the second and third pins on this side. So you go around those 2 and you come back through the slot. Then it's between the first and second, around the next 2. You're going to be going back through the slot, between the first and second, around the next 2. I hope you can see this because it's a little awkward winding it this way. Okay, when you get up to this corner, you go, there's 2 here, 2 here, so you're going around these 3 pins and then back down between the second and third and up around 2 and up. You'll come up into the slot this time. Okay, then you go around the empty peg and the one next to it, so it's around 2, down to the slot, around those 2, up to the slot, down around 2 and skip 1, same thing. Okay, now you're back down here to this corner. This is where you start the actual weaving. So we're going to go around the loom 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. You wind the yarn around the outside. Gives you an easy measurement. As you see, I skipped a little, so I'll just add a little down here. Okay. Got a blunt needle. Thread the needle, which should be quite easy and obviously isn't going to work the first time. It's not going to work the second time either. There we go, aren't I talented? Okay, so we're down at this corner. You have a loop on the outside of your pins, which you will always go over. If you're doing a pattern, you don't count that one, but you go over it, under the one just inside, and over under all the way across. And it's not as difficult as I'm making it look here. Your needle will come out between the first and second nails on this side. Pull it on through, You don't want to pull it tightly, but you want it snug. And I let this jump. You can use your packing fork, your finger, your needle, whatever. Keep your yarn tails kind of straight. Now we go back in the same way. Over the loop on the outside of the nail. You're going around 2, by the way. You'll see that. And then it's over, under, across again. Out through the slot. I'm trying to be able to reach my loom and still stay within range of the camera. This really goes really fast once you are doing it in your lap. Anyway, you continue on like this. Your last row will be right here between the last warp and the nails. If you're using a bigger yarn, that might get tight there, but you don't want to get thrifty and try to save that one, because if you take it off without weaving this last row, your thing's going to fall apart. Okay? So basically that's it. You'll end up with a small square that looks like this one.